Welcome to RadicalWellnessTV.com. This is Laura Lee, and I'm here to introduce you to some proactive ideas on how to take care of your physical, emotional, mental health, and you need to know what's going on. So this is about mental wellness or mental health. So first thing, you need to know what mental illness looks like, and NAMI does a good job explaining that because people are trying to find a solution on what's going on. So we at Natural Healers find the source for it, and that can be very variable with a lot of variable humans. So one of the things that you have to deal with is the criminal justice system. If your mentally ill person ends up being captured by those guys because of their behavior. So they get called and the police have to deal with it. So the police it's not easy for them either. But let's see what we can do about it. What are your constitutional rights? This is part 2 from part 1 of dealing with the criminal justice system with a mentally ill person from NAMI. It's a brochure from NAMI. What are your constitutional rights? The 4th Amendment guarantees the right against unreasonable searches and seizures. Usually a warrant is required. The exclusionary rule prevents the prosecution from placing into evidence any evidence that was obtained unreasonably. Number 2, the 5th Amendment guarantees the right against self-incrimination, which is the well-known right to remain silent. Use it. Biggest tool. The 6th Amendment guarantees the right to a speedy trial. Every defendant in a criminal case has a constitutional right to have the charges against him or her decided quickly so that he or she can move on with life. The 6th Amendment also guarantees the right to a public trial and a jury trial. The right to confront witnesses, a compulsory process for obtaining witnesses, and the right to assistance of counsel are also presented by our constitutional rights. Anyway, families of people with mental illness face many stresses, financial burdens, emotional upheaval, and practical problems of living with someone who is seriously ill. Nearly 40% of persons with schizophrenia live with their family. Families are not the cause of serious mental illness. Most can benefit from support of other family members through self-help programs such as NAMI, National Alliance for the Mentally Ill. Violence among people with mental illness is not common. They are more frequently the victims of crime than the perpetrators. Horror movies featuring stereotypical psychotic killers are not realistic depictions of persons suffering from mental illness. Education program, family to family, for relatives of the mentally ill. Provider courses for clinicians. Support groups for family and friends of the mentally ill. Guest speakers, psychiatrists, and other clinicians, and recovery group. Information on available resources. Legislative updates on mental health. Newsletter. This is NAMI in San Luis Obispo and everywhere in the country because our last frontier is the brain, and it seems to be under siege and attack. So what we can do about it is love life, and life will love you back. So we'll see you in the next video. Like and share, and please make a comment. Bye-bye for now.